614. We are joined by Senator David Vitter. Once again, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Sherman. Thanks for the invite.
All right, now you've been going around town
Sure.
quite a bit in the last couple of months. Let's give a rundown of what you've been hearing in the town hall meetings.
Well, I always go around the state and have very regular town hall meetings in every parish, from the most urban to the most rural, and so I'm doing that a lot this August because we have an August break. A lot of important topics. At the top of the list in most people's minds is Obamacare, spending and debt, a need to create more jobs, need to get this economy moving in a more serious way. So all of those things are under discussion. But the agenda at these town halls is whatever folks want it to be, whatever concerns them, whatever interests they have.
Now, we will get into Obamacare, but I also saw that the topics last night included illegal immigration, education, IRS. Talk a little bit about that. What were their concerns?
Well, you know, the immigration system is clearly broken. We have almost wide open borders, and we need to do something about it. The question is what? Most folks there seem to agree with me. I'm opposed to this so-called Gang of Eight bill that passed the Senate, because I'm very concerned it's the same formula we've used in the past, which has been a big failure, which is amnesty now, enforcement maybe much later. I think we need to fundamentally reverse that and start with enforcement, not just more promises of enforcement, because we've all heard the promises out of Washington before, but actually verified, measured enforcement before we move on to do anything else.
Okay, let's get into Obamacare. What's in-law's take on it? What have you been hearing in the last few times?
Well, I think a clear majority of folks in Louisiana want it repealed and want instead a much more targeted approach. There are problems with the healthcare system. There were before Obamacare, but I'm afraid a lot of those problems, including cost, are getting worse and not better. So a lot of the discussion was about that.
Not only, well, we're seeing these delays. You know, there's a lot more delays in Obamacare now than people were expecting. Employers are a little bit relieved. Do you think that this is proof that it should be defunded in the first place?
Well, I do. I'm also concerned that the delays, the president and his administration, they're picking and choosing. You know, we'll go forward with this, we won't go forward with this. I don't think, quite frankly, has the right to do that. The law is the law, and if things are delayed, I think everything should be delayed together. In particular, delaying the employer mandate for businesses, including larger businesses, but not delaying the individual mandate for individuals and families, I think is a problem, is actually going to push more people to the so-called exchanges, which is government-dominated health care.
Now, on the other side of this, you know, we were seeing that certain sources are thinking that there's some potential fallout for the Republican Party with this effort to defund Obamacare. What's your take on that?
Well, they're talking about a government shutdown, which I don't think is going to happen. I do think every effort needs to be made to fix this or stop this before it's too late, before full implementation. I'm certainly very, very committed to that. I think what you're alluding to is threats about a government shutdown, which I just don't think are going to happen. Okay.
One more thing before we run out of time. We saw that they were mentioning it last night in the Republican meeting about black conservatives and the movement in black conservatives. You know, the stigmas of black politicians, especially in the southern states. Where do you think it's headed, and what kind of discussions were held last night?
Well, you know, we're really a leader here in Louisiana. We've had a string of party switches, including African Americans in various communities all around the state. Last night we had C.L. Bryan, a black minister, and a Republican as the main speaker, and also one of the featured guests was State Senator Elbert Guillory, who's also an African American, switched to the Republican Party. So I really think we're leading in that regard in a positive way, reaching out to the African American community with significant leaders and role models. I think that's very, very positive.
Okay, well, when's the next time that we'll probably see you? Will you have any more?
I'll be back through soon. I had my town hall here yesterday, but from here, I'm going to Eunice. I'll have a town hall there at 10 o'clock and then 12:30 in Jennings. So I'll continue to crisscross the state, and I'll be back. Again, I do a town hall in every parish, every Congress, so I'll be back to here and neighboring parishes.
All right, well, we'll, of course, keep tabs on you, see how everything's going. Give us a call when you're back in town.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator.
Thanks very much.
Okay, we'll be right back with more.